Welcome in, everyone. I'm Ariel Onstad here with meteorologist Alex Forbes. We're starting your 3 o'clock hour with a weather update. Alex, I understand you were speaking with the National Weather Service in meetings with them, getting an understanding as to where we're headed with this winter storm this weekend. So what's the latest?
So if you were watching just last hour in the 2 o'clock hour to now, I've gone in and I've basically added a lot more detail to the forecast.
Okay.
And made just a couple of minor adjustments, but largely what our forecast was last night to right now is largely unchanged.
Okay.
And I feel like there was a sense this morning just among people and talking to people and hearing from people that there was this shift to the north, and our forecast does not reflect that.
Okay.
So let me show you what the latest is. First and foremost, it is going to rain tonight. That is not tied to the wintry system at all here across north and central Georgia. You see all of those temperatures there well above freezing in the mid 40s. Don't be surprised to hear some rain on the roof. And then by the time we get to tomorrow morning, some rain likely during the morning commute as well. So let's talk about the impending winter storm now. 3 to 5 days out is the window that we are in. So now we are talking about narrowing down the timing and the precipitation types as we look ahead toward the weekend. Now, earlier this afternoon, I mentioned it last hour, the National Weather Service issued the winter storm watch only for northern Georgia. But this should not be taken as an understanding that the winter storm is only coming to North Georgia. All right. I'll explain why here in just a second. First, ice accumulation greater than 1/4 of an inch in that blue shaded area, and snow accumulation up to 4 inches late Friday night to Monday morning. The reason why it was only issued for northern Georgia, you see northeast and northwest Georgia on that list there, the wintry weather starts there earlier, which means they are eligible for the winter storm watch earlier. By the National Weather Service's standards, the metro Atlanta area is not yet eligible for a winter storm watch. So that's why it's in place across northern Georgia and not metro Atlanta just yet. You see, we have a long time of wintry weather still in the forecast for the metro area. So it's that starting sooner to the north for the reason of winter storm watch up there right now. By the time we get to the event, the winter storm watch will become likely an ice storm warning. So if you get moved from a winter storm watch to an ice storm warning, or a winter storm warning for that matter, that is an upgrade. And that can be issued, the warnings can be issued up to 36 hours out. So be on the lookout for that here in the next 12 hours. So I think, you know, the next update we'll get is that winter storm watch comes down to the south and maybe the north is upgraded to a warning. Again, that shouldn't be taken as it's only going to happen up north. It's just that it's arriving there sooner. Okay, here's my update to the forecast now. This weekend, we are going to see freezing rain and sleet widespread across metro Atlanta and northern Georgia. I think many locations will see the type of precipitation change multiple times. So one moment it's freezing rain, the next moment it's sleet with a couple snowflakes, the next moment it's back to freezing rain. Maybe it's straight up rain, but then you're right back to the freezing rain. That makes the forecast very complicated. Now, if you're watching from down to the south, LaGrange, Thomaston, and Macon, Milledgeville, those areas, I think when all of this is moving out, those spots might be able to get a degree or two above freezing. So I am still expecting icy conditions in those spots, but I am looking for that to transition to rain as it's leaving.
Okay.
Look up across the top of your screen. See the big blue area that says snow?
Yes.
They are looking at some serious snow totals across Tennessee and North Carolina. I know the winter storm watch includes up to 4 inches of snow for the counties that are included. I do not have that in my forecast.
Okay.
So I'm looking at an ice event for us. And it's important to note that whenever we're talking about ice storms, anytime you get above a 1/2 inch, that's when you get the widespread power outages, the trees coming down, and impassable roads. I don't care how big your truck is, you cannot drive on a 1/2 inch of ice. You can drive on less than 1/4 of an inch, right? Your windshield's going to be coated. You're going to have a light glaze on the roads, but you're going to be able to manage to get around. You cannot drive when it's more than a 1/2 inch, all right? So keep that in mind as we go through the hour-by-hour forecast here now. So for the past several days, we've been using what's called our long-range models. Well, now we're getting into the medium range. And the medium range models have a higher resolution to them and thus a higher degree of confidence. So what I'm about to show you, you haven't seen yet. All right, here we go. Into the overnight hours and into tomorrow morning, scattered showers. No big deal. Take a look off to the west. There it is. The winter storm, Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Tennessee, Missouri. That begins to push towards North Georgia overnight Friday into Saturday. So northwest Georgia, northeast Georgia, Rome, Ellijay, Dahlonega, Gainesville start with the wintry precip early Saturday. The metro Atlanta area starts Saturday afternoon and into the evening. There we are Saturday evening. See how long this lasts. There we are Sunday morning. And then it gets out of here by the time we get towards Sunday afternoon and evening. So in that scenario that I just showed you, this is the forecast ice now. The totals do put us into the, I mean, we've said destructive range.
Yeah.
That's not a word that we choose lightly.
No.
Right? You know, 2014 in East Central Georgia, that was a destructive ice storm. And I think that's what we've got on the way for millions of people here across the metro Atlanta area. So you boil it all down. Here's what we know now. Hazardous travel and power outages are likely. And wherever you are Friday night, that's probably where you need to stay for the weekend, right? Wherever you go to bed Friday, just stay there. What we don't know yet and what we're not locking in on is exactly how much ice is going to occur in each location and the range of accumulations that we're going to see across North and Central Georgia.
Okay.
So nonetheless, Saturday and Sunday, both Fox 5 storm alert days for freezing rain, ice, snow. Well, not really snow. I mean, maybe a snowflake here or there.
If you're in Tennessee or North Carolina, yeah.
And for what it's worth, you know, David and Joanne and I had the conversation yesterday. This is the earliest we ever pulled the trigger on a storm alert day.
Right.
And they're not something that we just throw around here at Fox 5, right?
Yep.
You know, we'll have days with a couple of tornadoes and it's not a storm alert day. This is going to be a storm alert day, and it's going to be 2 of them.
And it's just a testament to how destructive ice can be, and depending at what we're looking at, absolutely. I'm going to stay tuned to you to keep us updated. I've got my weather app handy and ready to go. And Alex, I'm sure we'll be checking back in with you later. I know that some of our folks watching us here on Fox Local, I know you guys kind of watch throughout the region, you know, North Carolina, Tennessee, not just here in Metro Atlanta and the Georgia area. So, Alex, I know you're going to be updating your social media regularly. If you could include some information for those folks, I'm sure they'd appreciate it. Kyle's asking about Western North Carolina, so
a lot of snow.
Yeah,
a lot of snow.
Stay tuned. Alex will keep us updated. Your social media on Instagram, Facebook. Alex Forbes, thank you. I appreciate your time.